Mainstream historical narratives often prioritize Eurocentric post-agricultural and colonial frameworks, obscuring transformative achievements and complexities of human societies. This thesis reveals three pivotal yet largely unknown historical facts that challenge conventional wisdom. 1. The pre-colonial African city-states with sophisticated economies rivaling contemporary Europe. 2. The deliberate ecological engineering of the Americas by indigenous peoples creating managed wilderness. And 3. The foundational role of non-European civilizations in developing the scientific method later attributed solely to Europe. These facts demonstrate that human innovation, urbanization, and scientific inquiry were far more globally distributed and advanced than commonly taught, revealing a history deliberately marginalized by colonial erasure and Eurocentric scholarship. While Egypt and Nubia are acknowledged, the Swahili coast city-states, Kilwa, Mombasa, Sofala, and Great Zimbabwe are rarely discussed as major global trade hubs. By the 13th century, Kilwa, modern Tanzania, controlled the gold trade from Zimbabwe to the Islamic world and China, minting its own coins and exporting ivory, spices, and enslaved people. Its Great Mosque, 13th century, featured coral rag architecture and domes rivaling contemporary Islamic structures. Great Zimbabwe, c. 1100–1450 CE, was a monumental stone city, over 7.2 square kilometers, housing 18,000 people. Its intricate dry stone granite walls, some 11 m high, used no mortar, showcasing advanced engineering. It controlled gold fields that supplied the Swahili coast and indirectly Europe. Archaeological evidence, Chinese Celadon pottery, Persian glass, Indian beads, found abundantly in these cities, proves they were integral nodes in the Indian Ocean trade network, centuries before European arrival. Ibn Battuta praised Kilwa as one of the most beautiful and well-constructed towns in the world. Colonial narratives dismissed African achievements, attributing ruins to foreign, for example, Phoenician builders. Eurocentric history focused on Atlantic trade, minimizing pre-colonial African agency and global integration. The Amazon is widely perceived as a pristine wilderness, with indigenous peoples portrayed as small, nomadic tribes living in harmony without altering the landscape. LiDAR scanning and archaeology reveal vast garden cities, for example Upper Xingu region, Brazil, with interconnected roads, moats, bridges, plazas, and fortified settlements housing tens of thousands. These weren't cities in the European sense, but complex, low-density urban networks integrated with the forest. Across millions of hectares, Amazonians created anthropogenic soils, Amazonian dark earths, by intentionally enriching infertile oxysols with charcoal, pottery shards, bones, and compost. This bioengineered soil remains fertile centuries after abandonment, supporting intensive agriculture. Genetic studies show hyper-domesticated landscapes. Over 80 tree species in parts of the Amazon show evidence of human selection and dispersal. For example, Brazil nut, peach palm. The pristine rainforest is largely a regrown managed orchard. European diseases, post-1492, caused societal collapse, 90% population decline, leading to forest reclamation. Colonial narratives framed depopulated lands as empty wilderness, justifying conquest. Modern environmentalism sometimes romanticizes untouched nature, erasing indigenous land management. The scientific revolution is typically credited to 16th/17th century Europeans, Galileo, Bacon, Newton, ignoring its deep roots in the Islamic world. Ibn al-Haytham, al-Hazan, 965–1040 CE, in his Book of Optics rigorously applied the scientific method, observation, hypothesis, experimentation, verification, and peer review. He debunked ancient Greek theories, for example Euclid Ptolemy on vision, through controlled experiments with dark rooms, camera obscura, and lenses. Institutions like the House of Wisdom, Beit al-Hikmah, in Baghdad, founded 830 CE, were state-funded research centers translating Persian, Indian, Greek, and Egyptian texts, then advancing them. Scholars like al-Khwarizmi, algebra, algorithms, al-Razi, medicine, chemistry, and al-Biruni, anthropology, geodesy, used mathematics, experimentation, and empirical data. Key Renaissance figures explicitly built on Islamic texts. Copernicus cited Nasir al-Din al-Tusi, 13th c, for his planetary models. Kepler used Ibn al-Shatir's 14th c mathematical models. European universities adopted curricula based on translated Islamic scientific texts. The Renaissance narrative emphasized a rebirth from classical Greece-Rome, deliberately downplaying Islamic contributions. The conflict thesis, science versus religion, further obscured the role of religiously sponsored Islamic science. Colonial-era scholarship minimized non-European intellectual foundations. These three facts dismantle core myths. Africa wasn't a passive recipient of civilization but an active creator of complex, globally integrated urban economies. The Americas weren't a pristine wilderness but a continent shaped by millennia of sophisticated ecological engineering and low-density urbanism. Modern science wasn't a European invention but a global endeavor systematized in the Islamic Golden Age and transmitted to Europe. This obscured history reveals a human story characterized by widespread innovation, complex societal organization, and deep ecological understanding long before European ascendancy. Its erasure stems from colonialism, Eurocentric scholarship, and simplistic environmental narratives. Recognizing these truths isn't merely academic, it demands a fundamental re-evaluation of human potential, challenges contemporary power structures rooted in historical myths, and highlights the critical need to decolonize our understanding of the past to build a more equitable future. The unwritten chronicles of human history are finally emerging, proving that what we don't know is often more profound than what we think we do.